be good to go. It says we are live. All right. And then let's get my computer working so that way everything actually works correctly. Go to this. Boom. Cool. Now the chat will show up for me. And we should be all good. But yeah. What's going on, everyone? Yeah, my tension's 54. Cool. How's everyone doing on this Sunday night? As you can see from what is on my machine and from the title of the stream, I got an old RF97. My hair is being weird. I got an old RF97 that I'm stringing up tonight because I have not strung this racket since I originally got it about 8 or 9 years ago. This is version 11 for the Pro Staff when this came out, when they still had that all black look to them. So I figured it was finally time to cut out the multi-filament strings that had been in there for the entire time that I have had the racket, and just to kind of go from there. So we're putting in Diadem Pro X because I wanted this string that I put in there to be a little bit more spin friendly for me, because this racket, it is very great at generating its own control and helping me control the ball, but that's about it, because it's a 97 head size and it is a very, very heavy racket. It is at least 12 ounces unstrung, and then when you add string, it goes about to 12.6. I think it's 340 grams unstrung, as well as when we add string about 355 to 358 grams with the string inside of it. So it's a little bit of a behemoth of a racket. So I wanted a little help with it if I ever actually decide to break this out onto the court. But how are we all doing? I hope you're having a grand old time, having a great day. For everyone just joining in, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you have any tennis gear related questions while I am stringing, please ask them in the chat. I will be happy to help as much as I can while I'm stringing. And then after I'm done with this, we'll head on over to the couch where I've done a live stream a time or two from before, and we'll just kind of keep on going. And we'll see how everything goes. Hopefully the racket doesn't take me too long, but we'll see. So if there's any questions, like always, just drop them below. I'll help to answer them as best as I can, and we'll go from there. My hair is being absolutely weird. I don't know what it's trying to do. But yeah, we're just going with it. Sloth, Hydro, keep it up. You're a good guy. You will succeed. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. All I can do is just help out as much as I can, Sloth. And that's what I intend to do. Whether it be through lives, through other videos that I make, or anything else, I'm here to help. So if anyone's got questions or anything, please let me know. Alphonse, that has nothing to do with tennis. So We're not. Interesting. I did not know. Hey. Sloth, just be yourself. That's all it's needed. Subscribe. Night mate, lay here. Sloth, thank you so much. I appreciate the subscription. I hope you have a great night. And yeah, have fun tomorrow with whatever you're gonna do, whether it be work or not or whatever. That's not gonna work. Oy. Alfonso, if that's why you're here, you might just have to go, because I mean, I'm not really going to be talking about that on here. That's not what this is for. But yeah, that's not really anything I'm going to be talking about. But one thing that I was reminded of today when I was at work was the fact that when me and my friends, there were 3 of us, we were all extreme like racket gearheads, and we all get bored at work sometimes. So we would play what we called guess the racket. So one of us would be just sitting down, or we'd be standing. We would just close our eyes essentially, and the other 2 would go ahead and pick out a random racket that was on the wall of our tennis store. And so we would just randomly pick. We'd decide together, or we'd get 2 random ones just to see if we could stump the other person. And I was reminded of that because it had been a while since I played it, and I was just kind of looking at the wall. I was like, man, this would have been fun, because there were times where the 3 of us, we could just like name rackets off as soon as they touched our hand, especially if you have been trying a few different rackets. Like, we demoed a lot. We demoed almost everything that we could get our hands on. So like with Technofiber, it's a pretty easy handle, just because it's one of the only rackets that have a rectangle handle. So it's a very weird feeling and shape in your hand. So that's why we always had to be careful if we ever gave a Technofiber out, just because it would always be an instant giveaway. Then you just had to figure out which one it was, whether it was the T-Fight or the TF40s. We never really touched the TFX1s just because we didn't see them as much, but that was fun. It was just a fun little way to pass the time while we were waiting to close, if there was no one in the store at all. I don't like how my machine keeps moving. That's probably not safe for my machine. Oh, and I almost hurt myself. Not good. Oh, my trash can's over there. Yeah. But we would just be playing that, and I was reminded of it because some of my new coworkers, I had asked them if they had ever played it before, and they were like, no. And I was like, oh, well, that's not fun. So I had one of them try it because no one was at the store, and we were just kind of like, it was the last out. It wasn't even the last hour, it was like the last 15 minutes. And so we were just kind of there. And I was like, all right, try this one. I gave him, what did I give him? I gave him a Babolat Pure Strike. And it took him about 5 minutes or so. Maybe like 5 to 10. He was really thinking about it. But he eventually got it. I was like, okay, cool. You got one. And then me and my other friend, we tried to stump him with the next one. So we gave him the the limited edition version of the Head Boom MP, which is the Arthur Ashe signature one. We thought he'd be able to guess it just because the butt cap of the racket feels different because it has the old head logo on it instead of the new one. So we thought that would be like a clear key giveaway for him. But surprisingly, it wasn't. He just ended up trying to guess the racket for about 3 minutes, couldn't figure it out, and then he kind of gave up until we were just like, yeah, man, this is what it was, and we had to tell him. I was like, ah, all right. And then he's like, yeah, I never would have got that. That one was unfair, and we were like, kinda. We just were having a little bit of fun to see if you could actually do it. But that was a fun little thing that I did. I did at work right before we all left, just because we all had a little bit of time. Anyone else do anything exciting today? Whether, at least for where I'm at, it was Sunday. I was at work. Anyone else do anything fun? Let me know. Oi. Come on, string. Not cool. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Oops. I went one too far. Get up. Come on. There we go. Stay. Cool. This machine is ancient. Well, for me, I've had this thing for years. And this Pro Staff was actually one of the very first few ones that I actually strung on it. I strung this Pro Staff, and I strung a Wilson Blade 98S. The old version 6 one that I actually still have. Yeah, I still have that. I still actually have that racket. So this racket brought up a few memories of like, wow, this is when I first started. And I looked at the actual string job itself, and I was like, man, I sucked back then. This is a terrible stringing. My knots were barely tied. Some of the strings were moving. Now, granted, that was also from being played with, but you could just tell it wasn't the best string job because I did it when I first started. But now I've gotten a lot better. I even got certified now. So this is going to do me much more. What? Turn up. Where did I mess up? Oh. That's where I messed up. I say I just got certified, and then I see my mistake. I've been stringing too much today. That's all I did. CB, have I tried the new FX500? I have got to play with it for a little bit. I am. Oh, let me make sure Let me see if I can find where I messed up. But so far, from everything I've played with it, it seems fine. The cool thing they did was that they were changing around with the grommets a little bit. That was fun. That was a fun idea. So I'm very curious to see how. What happened? I'm very curious to see how people take to it. What is happening right now? There we go. This. Why am I'm so confused. What's happening? Hold on. I'm just going to restart the crossings from the beginning. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on with me. Hold on. But no, the Dunlop FX500, the new one, it seems to me fairly similar to the old one, but the way that they changed up the grommets is giving it a little bit of a different feel. So I think it's definitely something worth a demo if you do get the chance to demo it. just because I think it would be an interesting play test. I don't know if it's something that a lot of people are going to switch to right away, just because Dunlop isn't one of the bigger brands. Like they have Jack Draper and they have Jensen Brooksby, I believe, is another big Dunlop player. They have those two as kind of like the ambassadors or anything. But I'm not sure if the new Dunlop is going to be to everyone's liking. It would just depend on how they take to it. But playability wise, it's felt good. I don't know if there's any one thing I would say it stands out with it in particular. It's just it just has done well all around for me. Sports, hello. Mopork, no, it's kind of my channel, so I'm going to keep talking. If you want to hear me stop, just swipe away or click off the video, dude. It ain't that hard. Let's see. CB, yeah, it's gonna be a rack that I'm gonna demo for next year. I'm looking for a new Power 100. CB, have you tried the CB? Have you tried the blackout one? The new blackout 300 gram from Solinco? Because that one is probably like, I think I said this last night. That's probably, I would say, my racket of the year that came out, just because I really liked everything that Solinco did with it. So if you're looking for a power racket in a 100 head size, I would definitely recommend to demo the blackout versus the Dunlop, and just kind of like anything else you're thinking of going with too. Solinco's not as popular in terms of the rackets. There's strings everywhere, as we all know. With Hyper G, that bright neon green string that almost every single high schooler and college player and sometimes even club player has in their racket. But they make good rackets, and they did a really nice job with the new blackout. I can say that. I'm from Canada. We don't have the blackout or the whiteout. Oh no, that's awful. I can't believe. Do you know why? I would think it would be fairly simple to get it to you, fairly simple to get it to Canada, since Solinco's based out in LA and here in the US. That's crazy that they don't have that you don't have that in Canada. Why everything is just tying together on me. I don't appreciate it. I'm just trying to string and to have a good time while doing it. But if the string keeps notching on me, it's not a good time. I have the 2022 Ezone 100. If you have the, what are you wanting to switch to then? Or like, why are you wanting to switch if you have the Ezone 100 from 2022? That's usually a fairly popular power racket that I would say most people like. But why are you wanting to switch? Like, what do you want more help with from a new racket? CB. If anyone else has any tennis gear related questions as well, please drop them along like CB is. I will be happy to answer them as best as I can. All right, I think I'm in the group. Let's see. Cool. I don't know if I've ever actually hit with this RF97 with a poly in it. It's probably going to be awful for my arm, but I'm going to still enjoy it just because I enjoy playing with this racket. But we'll see. I'm not sure how it's going to go yet. My timing will probably be completely off. Probably going to go for the new Ezone. See, CB, I've had a lot of people that have used the Ezone you currently have. I've had quite a few of them tell me that they actually don't really care for the new Ezone, just because they, with the thicker beam of the racket itself, as well as the Minolin technology that Yonex put into it, they say the racket feels too dampened, or it doesn't give them as much feel compared to the old one, because your Ezone is a little bit thinner. Hey. What's happening here? So if you are going to go with the new one, definitely try it just to make sure, and just kind of go from there. But it would be a pretty similar transition if you did get the new one. Ta-da. Now comes the hard part with this machine. Actually tying off the first cross, because my clamp and my actual machine decide to get in the way, and I don't appreciate it. But hopefully we don't have a problem tonight, because there's been times where I have, and it's not been fun. Cool, we're good. Yay! Ugh. See, I just don't like how the machine will move on me like that. I don't appreciate it. Let's see. $3 AV Bro got the doohickey. I mean, I do have a stringing machine. If you're calling that doohickey. Supposedly it has a different feel, more power, so it could be interesting. Yeah, it's definitely gonna have a different feel, dude. That's gonna be the biggest thing. And if you can get past it, great. Some people that I've talked to, they just couldn't get past the feel, and they're like, no, it's not for me. And that's completely okay. Completely understandable. You like what you like. Let's see. My, hello. Nice to see you. Let's see. I have no idea. I have no idea how to say this name right now, but Foot. Do college players play with Pro Staff 97? I didn't see a lot. I don't see it a lot these days. I would say that most college players are not playing with the Pro Staff 97. I don't know many tennis players in general that are playing with the Pro Staff 97. Yeah, I'm good. Just because it's a racket that kind of is hard to fit into today's game now, where a lot of the game has focused more on generating spin, whereas the Pro Staff very much more oriented towards control and just kind of like being closer to the net and volleying, because you have a lot more precision with the Pro Staff. But a lot of players have been wanting the racket to help them generate more power and generate more spin. So that's kind of where the Pro Staff lacks. And especially, I think, the color of the current Pro Staff version 14, being that brown, also is deterring people away, because, no offense, Wilson, the thing is ugly. I don't know why they thought brown was a good idea. They don't even know why they thought brown was a good idea. But yeah, it is not necessarily the best thing right now. But if you can play with it correctly, and you can handle the weight of the Pro Staff 97, unless you decide to get like the 97L or something, then it does play well for a control racket. You just have to be able to handle it and do a lot more as the player, because it's a more demanding racket compared to other control frames like the Wilson Blade or the Head Radical, the Babolat Pure Strike, or other things of that nature. Even the Percept 97, I would say, is a little bit more player friendly than the traditional Pro Staff 97, in my opinion. CB, mine's pretty beaten up, so I don't really have a choice. I need to switch. I mean, yeah, sometimes it just gets like that. And then I like ball. You like the ball pocketing, so it should be fine. That's cool. That's good, and I don't mind when a racket is muted. Yeah, especially with the racket being muted and just taking away a lot of the shock and impact before it gets back to your arm. That just also gives you a chance to use a slightly stiffer setup, so that because you know it's going to help protect you from tennis elbow or anything. So it has both pros and cons to it. Some people just can't stand not being able to feel the ball, and if they don't use a very stiff setup already, they just don't get anything out of the new one. But if you like it, that's great. I would definitely demo it just to make sure, and then kind of go from there. Let's see, Christopher, hi, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I saw that you said hi. Oh, cool. We're almost done. Sweet. Don't get caught string. Let's see. 19. Hello. Where am I from? I am from the US. So I'm not Greek like you were thinking, but I'm just American. And I am 24 as of recently. Am I good? Yeah, I'm good. But that's cool that you're coming watching all the way in India. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. There we go. Sweet. Philip, I already kind of answered where I'm from, but no, I'm not from India. I don't know where someone would have guessed that from, but I am not. String. Anish, I kind of agree. I'm just a normal dude. I don't know where the Greek came from, but I guess some people see it, but I just kind of see myself like, yeah, I'm just a human dude. I would need to get back into the gym a lot more and eat way more in terms of protein in order to achieve that kind of physical stature. I do not have that right now. I also think he is from India. I don't know why you would think that. Please tell me, what gives you that impression, that vibe? I'm curious. across. Philip, I also think. I think he's from India too. He might be lying. I don't know why you think that, bro. That is a crazy assumption. Born in the U.S., raised in the U.S., still in the U.S. That's what I am. I've never been more out to the more eastern countries. The only time I've ever left the U.S. was on a cruise because I was in my high school's jazz band. Our trip that year was to go on a cruise, and we actually performed on the cruise, which I thought was super cool. But we ended up being able to stay on there. We performed for one day, and then we got to enjoy the rest of the cruise for the entire time. The cruise had kind of like its own private beach that we got to go to, so that was really cool. Some of my friends swam with dolphins. I didn't, but the others were playing beach volleyball. We had a bunch of different other activities we could have done that I can't remember. I think one of my friends, he went parasailing for the very first time, but when he went to go up, he had to obviously take everything out of his pockets, because if anything fell out of his pockets, then he wouldn't be able to get back onto the boat, or he wouldn't have like his wallet or anything like that. So he handed it to, I don't remember if he left it in a locker or if he handed it to someone, but he had that, and all of a sudden, he goes parasailing. He has a great time. He ends up eventually getting sun poisoning because he was a guy that decided, I'm not gonna wear sunscreen, and it came back to bite him. But he gets back from parasailing, and he goes to get his wallet and everything, and he can't find it. And he's like, well, that's not good. So he's looking around the beach for a little bit, and the wallet's nowhere to be found. And the bad thing is, not only does it have his money, but it also has his boarding pass to get back onto the ship. So without that pass, they can't let him back onto the boat. And he's freaking out, as most of us would be, because he would then be stranded on a random island in the Bahamas. And I think he was a senior at the time. He's a senior in high school, not knowing what to do, no phone, and no money, and no boarding pass. So there was a whole debacle. I don't know everything that happened after that, but all I know is everything got sorted out, and luckily he was able to get back onto the boat, and we all were just like, okay, we're not ever doing that again. And he learned his lesson in terms of where he's going to put his wallet and stuff. I don't know if he ever learned the lesson about the sunscreen, though. I think he might still be going out there and absolutely frying in the sun to this day. I'm not sure. I have not talked to him in a few years, but we'll see if we ever cross paths again. Ta-da! Keen says, stop bullying him, guys. Leave him alone. Bro, they ain't bullying. They're just thinking something that's incorrect. They're not bullying me. I feel like I would be able to tell if they were trying to bully me, but I do appreciate you sticking up for me, sir. That is very nice of you. But nah, I don't think they're bullying or anything. And if they were, they'd have to do better than that. Kafarna, no. I will not. I'm sorry, but no, I shall not marry you. I've never met you. That's not how that would work. Okay, last cross. Come on. Great. Doesn't want to go through. It's Murdon? Hello? I think that's how I say that. I may be absolutely wrong, and if I am, please correct me. CB? I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know what this chat is. But this is not the weirdest it's ever been. This is yesterday's live stream, the chat in there, that one was pretty out there. Almost no tennis was even talked about. But this one, so far, pretty tame. I gotta say. And this is not confidential. I don't remember who it said asked that. Is that confidential? I'm stringing. Deep, hello. It is not confidential. It is actually Diadem Pro X. I had an extra pack of this lying around, so I was like, well, might as well use this because one of my friends has been wanting to hit with this racket for a while too. And so we were talking and I was like, I can just restring it. They're like, okay, cool. When you do, if you can, please put something in there that has some shape to it so we can actually try and get some spin out of this racket that typically doesn't help with that. I was like, I can do that. And it looks like Pro X is the string that we ended up on. I actually have Pro X in another racket of mine right now because I'm testing it so that way I can do a review on it. So this is just going to give me an even better, this is also just going to give me an even better look into it because I think I have it in my Gravity Tour that I have, and now that I have it in this Pro Staff, it's going to be an interesting to see the difference between the two of them. Because now we be done. Cool. David, have I tried multi in the RF01 yet? I think I have. I mean, to me the RF01s, just because it is still the first iteration of them. To me, I personally, come on, racket. I personally prefer the RF97 over the RF01s. That's just me. But yeah, hold on. Now that this is done, we get to move. Ta-da! A little behind the scenes. All right, this, and now I need my computer again. I'll be right back. All right. And we're back. Let's see. Okay, cool. So I think I've tried multi in the RF01. To me, it didn't really change too much about it. It did help with the power because that racket is not necessarily a very powerful racket in itself. It's not designed to be, especially with a little bit of the smaller sweet spot because the strings are more spaced together in terms of right in the middle. But besides that, it was fine. It wasn't just, it didn't stick out to me as anything like super particular, but it just did well. Is that Turner Dry? Yes, it is Turner Dry. I had a pack of the grips at one point, and I just put it on this because I just wanted to see what it felt like, and that's how it's on. That's why that is on here. Confront, confront. Think about this. Deep. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, never mind. That looks like a blue camo grip. I mean, it is from Turna. That's what the small red look. That's what the small red banner is from. It is Turna's grip. I just don't remember the exact name of it. I don't think it's a dry one, but it is from them. So I got a pack and I was like, I'll try it out. And this is the racket I put it on. I think I also put it on one of my whiteouts too. Yeah, I put one of these on my whiteout V2 because it was white camo, and then I put blue camo on it. So I was like, that seems fun. Let's see. Pore? Are you a custom sports equipment maker, sir? Not a maker. I am just a certified technician for tennis rackets and tennis strings. And so that's where I took a test to go that was going over racket technology and string technology and how those work together. And that's kind of where my knowledge comes from, as well as just working in a tennis retail store for about the last 8+ years, with helping as many people that I have come throughout the store, and just by taking that test as well. That's where I felt like I started to gain more and more confidence in my ability to talk about this stuff and usually have what I say is going to happen actually happen. Let's see. Deep Diadem Pro X, nice. Foresight. How do I feel about it? I think it's 6-sided actually. I'd have to look at the package again, but I think it's 6-sided. So far, I think it is actually comparable to Headlink's Tour. I think Headlink's Tour for me right now is still ahead of it, but it is very similar to that. I would say it is probably about as stiff as Headlink's Tour, maybe slightly softer. So it's definitely something I'm interested to try, but I just have to see how it's going to do in this and hit with it in my gravity a little bit more too. But spin-wise, it's done fine. Nothing to complain about. Power-wise, slightly more powerful. I don't necessarily break strings at all, so that is never really a big issue for me in terms of durability. I usually just see how long it takes me to actually until the strings start to wear down just because of use and when they start to lose their life and lose their tension. But so far, everything seems good. It's the electrical wiring behind you is not safe because it's too close to my head. Mo, I appreciate the concern. Luckily, I do stand far enough away from it to where my head is not anywhere near everything going on with it. But I do appreciate the concern. 19. I don't know about me being a hero or anything, but yes, I am being safe. Mo, that's awesome. You're from Bangladesh. That's really cool. Gaz Gazapur? Never heard of it. Deep looked familiar. No, this kind of Shandu. I know someone who knows someone who knows someone that looks like you. I feel like that's a pretty accurate. most people I would think would know someone that would know someone that would knows another guy that would look like me. I could see it. Deep favorite overgrip of mine. I mean, I would say the one I probably use the most is the Yonex Super Grap, also known as the Yonex Wet Grap in purple, just because I like the color purple. That's kind of one I like, but that's just because of color. In terms of actual playability and anything, I really don't care as much. I know I don't prefer dry grips. I prefer tacky grips like the Yonex Super Grap, the Wilson Pro, of course. That one's pretty common. I actually was very surprised and deep. I think I was telling you this yesterday at the Diadem Pro Feel over grips. Those ones I was very surprised with, and I actually ended up liking those a lot more than I thought I would. So those are fun, and pretty much anything like that, I would say. C CB, what do I think of the Babolat Pure Drive and the Wilson Ultra? In terms of what? Just as the rackets overall? Are we comparing the two to each other, or like what do we think? What do you want to know about them, CB? Kinza, what do I do for a living? I work at a tennis retail store, and I've been doing that for quite a while, and that is what I do for a living. I am also doing this on doing this with YouTube here on the side just because I enjoy it and I get to talk to you guys. It's a fun time, as well as if I can make extra money from this, it's not a bad gig. So that's what I do, Kinza. Higor, what's up? Hey, need some help with a soft poly to hybrid with a gut? Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. With gut, don't have all that money, so durability, low cost, and spin potential would be the aspects I'm looking for the most. Okay. Let's see. So Higor, the good thing about doing a hybrid, especially if we're trying to get a soft poly, is the fact that whatever string we choose, you get when you buy the pack, you get two restrings out of it. So we essentially have to look at it pretty much as like, if say the string is $20 per the pack, you're essentially paying $10 for one restring, $10 for another. So if we are trying if we're trying to find a soft poly to hybrid with a gut, I think it would depend on, because you said durability, low cost, and spin potential. One that comes to mind first would probably be Solinco Mach 10. That one is going to be, I think that one's about $14 per pack. So with you getting two restrings out of it, it's probably going to be closer to like 7 by that math. But Mach 10 is designed to be a softer string on the arm. It still has sides to it, so there is some spin potential there, but it's not as much as say like other polyesters that are not as soft on the arm. So I would say Mach 10 is probably one to look into, Higor, and especially if you are doing this for your kids, that would probably be a good one to start with, but it is going to break the gut a little bit quicker just because it does have sides to it. If you want something that's going to be more round and soft, just because that is going to be a little bit easier on the strings itself, then those strings do tend to cost a little bit more in terms of the really soft ones, like Yonex Polytor Pro or Luxilon Element Soft, or even Babolat RPM Soft. If you don't want to spend that much money, there are some other circular strings such as Turna Big Hitter Silver 16 gauge. Let's see. Plan on using the gut and the mains. I'm injured, so being round would be ideal because of the money aspect. Okay. Okay, cool. So if we're going round and if we're doing this for you, then it's a little bit of a different story. It's a little bit of a different story because we can get away with something. But if you're doing a gut with it, for round polys, I would probably look towards, if you want to go the not as expensive route, you could do something like turn a big hitter silver 16 or 17 gauge. That I think is about $7 USD per pack. So if you get 2 restrings out of that, you could do that. That one's not necessarily going to have the best playability because it's $7, but it is going to do well. And if you want to go like towards the high end, you have something like Yonex Polytor Pro. That's about 20, or Babolat RPM Soft. That's around $20 as well. So those are like the low end, high end. If you want to go right in the middle, then you have some strings like Technofiber Ice Code is the one that I have recommended to a lot of people, and people have started to like. It does not have as much spin potential as some others, so that's going to be a drawback. But if we're trying to get you back from injury, I would say if we're trying to get you back from injury, then I would say that there's going to have to be a sacrifice probably in the spin potential. But yeah, like right in the middle of the price ranges, it's typically like Technofiber Ice Code or what was it? I had one. It was like Wilson Revolve or Head Sonic Pro. Like those three come to mind if you want like the middle of the price range. At least here in the US. I saw that you just said that prices differ over in Brazil, which makes sense. It's a different country, different import fees and everything. But yeah, those are all of the last few ones I mentioned. Those are all round polys. If you find one of the ones that say soft in the name, like the RPM Soft and the Luxon Element Soft IR, those are going to be probably the softest. Whereas Polytor Pro is very similar. If you want to go the cheaper route, turn a big hitter silver 16 or 17 gauge would do fine for the cheap route. And then there's the middle ground. So any of those I would say you're probably fine. Try just try one, see what you think. If that's too harsh, then try towards the softer ones. Does Ghostwire make sense? Reddit's great, but didn't trust it. I have not tried Ghostwire, so I cannot say anything about it. And I don't want to tell you something is great when I've never got to actually play with it. So unfortunately, I cannot speak to that one. All right, and so CB, back to your question, Pure Drive and Ultra. Uh, like how's the feel, spin, power, etc. Okay, so between the new Pure Drive and the new Ultra, I would say that the Pure Drive is actually going to be actually, well, they're both very similar because they're both designed to do the exact same thing. I think the Ultra is going to have more control to it and just play with a little bit more control because the strings are a little bit more spaced tightly together. Wilson was trying to rein in some of the power of the previous version of the Ultra, because some people weren't as big of fans of that as previous versions. So the Ultra is definitely going to be the more control-oriented one of the two. The Babolat Pure Drive will have a little bit more power. The Pure Drive also does tend to be a little bit stiffer, so it does tend to be a little bit harder on the arm. The Ultra now usually has always been a little bit more arm friendly, so I don't think really that much has changed between the two. Playability wise, like I said, Ultra is going to have more control. Babolat Pure Drive will have a little bit more power and spin. So it just depends on kind of what you're wanting. But both rackets are designed to give you more power, and then you just kind of have to figure out what you want to do from there based off of tension and string that you choose to put into it, as well as your specific play style as well, CB. Let's see. Mo, I like the Bangladesh Bengal Tigers sign behind you. Thanks, Mo. That is, I will say that is not my sign. That is someone else. That is someone else's. They just kind of put that up on the wall because they are very big Bengal Tigers fans. But yes, I will let them know that you like it. I'm sure they will appreciate that. Deep. I find the Yonex more tacky, less plush than Wilson. The Wilson is nice though. The grip my shift comes with is so similar to the Wilson Pro that I had to switch it up. Gotcha. Yeah, the Wilson, what is it? It's not the Sublime anymore. I think it's the base grip for Wilson rackets is still called like the Pro something. I think it's like the Pro Comfort or whatever. No, it's Wilson Pro Performance. That's the name of the base grip. Sorry, it took me a minute. But yeah, all the Wilson grips tend to feel relatively similar, unless you get like the Sublime, which has the holes in it, and then it's kind of like, yeah, that feels a little different. Kinza, that's amazing. All the best to you. Thank you so much, Kinza. Me, Zai, I have no idea what that is. Deep, might have to try the Diadem grips. Harry from Tennis Spin and the Head Hydras said the Head Hydrazord Pro is a great replacement grip to use with no overgrip. I think the Head Hydrazord Pro is the best replacement grip that is out there right now. Like that is my favorite one. And I would agree with Harry. It's like I would play with the Head Hydrazord Pro on its own just because I like it that much. If I don't have an overgrip, that is the one grip I would want to play without. I would want to play without one. Head Hydrazord Pro is so great. Let's see. Emmanuel, what's up? Hi Brody. Do I compete in local tournaments and what's my NTRP level? Uh, I do not compete in tournaments. With my work schedule and everything, I have never really competed in a tournament. I think the one tournament I ever did, I was in high school and I just did it because I had never done one before and I had no idea what I was getting into. Did not go well for me because sophomore year of high school me was not very good. I had one close match and then I got absolutely obliterated the next match. So, yeah. I would have no idea what my NTRP level would be. I just play tennis with my friends because we have a giant group on Tuesday nights, and I'll play around with them. I'll play around with them. Sometimes I'll play with some guys that we'll play a few matches here and there, but I don't play a lot of matches and I don't play anything like sanctioned or anything, so I couldn't necessarily tell you my level off the top of my head because it's never been officially stated. See here, or it's also hard to find Ghostwire numbers online, either Tennis Warehouse or Rackpedia. Gotcha. Let's see. Uh, Kinza, did I go to college? Yes, I did. I went to community college and I got my associate's degree. And I really like your orange sunglasses. Thank you, Kinza. These actually are blue light blocking glasses, so that way I can sleep way better than if I don't have these and were to do like these live streams right now. These things have been a wonder for me. I'm so glad that I got these because I can, if I am forced to, I can get 5 hours of sleep after wearing these for however long, wake up and still feel refreshed and ready to go. So it's a great time. Uh, Deep. Could you describe how head hydrosorb feels? And yeah, grips with holes just feel archaic, like not modern feeling, I guess. With head hydrosorb Pro, kind of like what you heard, it's not as tacky as an overgrip, like a Wilson Pro overgrip or anything like that. It's just it is very comfortable and very plush almost to feel like it is very much something that is going to protect you from the bevels of the actual racket itself. And with it, it's just kind of like with an overgrip, you just like the feel of it. I've always found it to be very comfortable, very easy to hold on to, and it has been a little bit more durable if I've ever had to play with it as just the handle itself. But yeah, I don't necessarily I wouldn't necessarily describe it as too different from anything else you probably tried. I just like how it feels the best deep. Uh, Stop. Where'd you go? You said you were from Italy. Come back, bro. Uh where'd it go? Ozanka? Maybe? Have I ever strung a big banger full bed into an 18 by 20 frame? Yes. Yes, I have. It was a Headspeed Pro that I had a full bed of excuse me, of 18 by with an 18 by 20. Not fun, but because it was ALU power and it wasn't the rough version, it was not that bad. I have had to do the 18 by 20 uh with a rough. That one was awful. Almost any 18 by 20 pattern with a rough tennis string. Not fun, harsh on my fingers. Don't look forward to it. But hey, we do it. We get through it. Cotton, what's up? Good morning from Indonesia. What's up, buddy? Hopefully this time I am not streaming enough for you to go all the way to church and then come back and me still be streaming. That when you told me that last time, I was like, that's pretty insane that happened. But hey, if it happens again, it happens again. I don't think you're going to church again the next day, but I don't know. You might be. Let's see. Keen's awesome man. I want to buy orange sunglasses for myself. They look pretty cool and stylish. You can, man. It's all on Amazon, dude. Wow. It's all on Amazon. I can't see profile pictures or anything. But yeah. I highly recommend these. Mediocre skater? Hi. Why did you name yourself that? I bet you're not a mediocre skater. Let's see. Who Ozanka, who is my favorite WTA player? I believe let's see. Yeah. I would say my favorite WTA player is probably Maria Sakkari, just because she's one of the only ones that I ever saw that actually like played with and endorsed the Wilson Ultra line, and that Wilson Ultra was like my first actual adult racket that I had for myself. So I always had a connection with that. That's why I also liked players like Gael Monfils when he was playing with it, and there weren't really too many others now. But now with the release of the Ultra Tour, yeah, the Ultra Tour, you have players like Demonar that are using it because they were already using the Steam model, and then now they switched over. But yeah, I'd probably say Sakari. Samar Kinza, you flirting with it? Solar, you asked that, and then her next question, it makes it kind of seem like it, but I am 24, Kinza. Deep, you can't wait for tennis Wednesday night. Well, I usually only play once a week. How about you guys? I'm you like I said, I'm usually a once a week guy too. My playtime is Tuesday nights. and that's where I'm excited for. And then sometimes throughout the week I'll be able to get a match or a hit in with elsewhere, but usually Tuesday nights is almost a shoe in for me to where I'll get to actually smack the ball around. Let's see, Solar. I have no idea what in the world that is. Ozone. Where did his comment go? Full bet with ALU rough is absolute. Yeah, it's not fun. It it's not fun. I would say personally though that I think ALU power rough is better to deal with than something like Bad Light RPM Blast Rough, well RPM Rough now as they call it, or 4G Rough. I would say I probably prefer ALU Power Rough over those two, well those three, but it's still not the best if you have to put it into an 18 by 20. It's bad, dude. My fingers do not appreciate. Let's see. Daniel talking about Mothman. That's crazy. M, I'm doing good, sir. How are you doing? I know I know you're probably getting ready for bed or getting ready to go into bed, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. Shoto, I like your sunglasses. Thank you. Reedy, WWE. No, I'm not. I never really got much into wrestling or anything. Shoto, hello. Whoa, hold on. Where did everything go? Solar, am I a noob tennis player? Are you asking me or are you asking someone in the comments? Because I would say I'm not a noob. I've been playing for long enough to I think I've graduated from noob status. Riddy, Undertaker versus Shawn Michael. Couldn't tell you. No clue. No clue. Keenza, maybe I could gift you these sunglasses. Sorry, these ones are mine. These are not leaving me. The only pair of these I've ever gifted was I bought my sister a pair of these for her birthday, and that was it. But sorry, these ones aren't leaving my side. Shut up. Yeah. Tony. Chaz called me Tony Stank. That's crazy. Nah, nah, Solar. I'm not a pro player by any means. There are many players that are better than me, and I am not one that is wanting to compete on the professional tour. I know that's kind of like the one of the routes for YouTube tennis creators is to go pro, but probably not going to be the thing I try and do. Tony Stank. Sir. M, what do you M, what did I say? And yeah, it's 3 in the morning. Dude, have you got anything like that? No. Solar, don't worry, she's all serious. Just no gift her those glasses. Nah, sorry fam. This is my pair. It this is not leaving me. Okay. Kinza. Hold on. I'd have to see if I can find it. Because I bought these off of Amazon. because a friend of mine sent me the link to him. I have to see if I can figure out which ones they were. Was it you? No. Maybe. No. Not you. Nope, not them. Hold on. I will go look. I will go look to see if I can find the package that these came in to where it still says the brand name on them, and then I will be back. It may take me a few minutes or two. So while I'm gone, if you have any tennis gear related questions or any other questions, please drop them into the chat so that way I can answer them when I get back. But yeah, I will be right back. I will attempt to go find out where these are from. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so the brand is this was the case they came in. The brand is called THL Sleep, and the logo of it is kind of like two check marks right next to each other. Yeah. And it was like the very I typed in THL Sleep, and it was like the very first it was like the very first search result that came up on Amazon. Oh, come on, be a Chad, call yourself a pro. No, I'm not gonna say something. I'm not gonna call myself something I'm not. Seek, would I throw a cat or pet a crocodile on his mouth? Is the crocodile angry? Like, is it going to bite me if I try and pet it? Because I personally would rather throw the cat than pet a crocodile I know is going to take my hand off. That's just me, though. Bruce Lee. Chaz, never steal from a crisscross applesauce sitter. Craziness. That is crazy. I don't know why you would want to steal from someone to begin with, but if you cross those people, that's crazy. They're already crossing their legs. Imagine what they do to you. I don't know, man. OMG, I found out you also have green glasses, but those are for migraines, and the yours for screens, and there's also pink, but I don't remember what pink was for. Interesting. Interesting, Em. I've never heard of the I've never heard of green glasses or the pink ones, so I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. No, Solar, I am no pro. Kinza, you're welcome. Solar, this is not a brand, it is a local company. Hey, if it's local, if it's local to you, it's local to you. I had never heard of it before until my friend had recommended them to me, so maybe they are local to you. It's THL Sleep, right? Yes, that is correct. And they made the case orange too. Yes, yes, they did. But at least, the cleaning cloth that they came with, that was at least black instead of orange like the case. Yep, Keenza, it's THL Sleep. Uh, I have rectangle glasses too. I don't think I do. I mean, I think they look pretty square. Rolp, you look like someone's about to pass you a J on that 70 show. I've not seen that 70 show, but I think I get the idea. And the glasses, I could definitely see it. Sorry, you might be a pro player, but you talk like a complete noob. I don't think so, bro. Because no noob would be talking about some of the stuff that I do. They may not even know where to start. But I do agree with M. That emoji is funny. Yeah, the clean cloth is nice, yeah. Be a local or brand. If it is a gift given to you by your sister, then understand that it is priceless. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Solar? Yeah, cool. Well, what do you really want to know, M? No, Solar. I gave the gift to I gave a pair of glasses to my sister as a gift. I bought these from I bought these from a friend of mine's recommendation because he was telling me how I could sleep better with them. Kinza, I think you're quite knowledgeable about your work. I'm impressed. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. M, how much are those ancient rackets? Define ancient. Are you talking about this RF in my hand right now? Because if not, I don't know what other rackets you would be referring to. And two, why the grandma pillows? These are just the pillows that were with the couch, dude. I have no control over what over what pillows they came with. And for the racket, I have no idea how much this would cost right now. I've not looked, but um I think version 13 when they still made this, I think it was around brand new like 279. I'm not sure just because with all tariffs and everything and prices, I don't know if that has changed, but I think this when it was brand new It was 270. It was $279 brand new. That's my guess. Kinsa, what is my favorite food? I actually do not have a favorite food just because I don't eat much food. I don't eat much food at all. Like, I'm that weird guy who's never had cake. I've never had a brownie. I've never had anything like that. I've never had, what was it? There's a lot of foods I've never had that most people would look at me dumbfounded with their mouth completely open. They're like, "How in the world have you never had that?" Like, I've never had what was it? I've never had ketchup. I've never had mustard or anything like that. So I'm not a bit. I'm not a. I have never. So far, I have not been a big food guy. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I googled similar ones and it's over $200 converted. Yeah, it's it's weird, but this one because it's older, it may be worth a little less. However, because it's Rogers' old signature series, it is probably a little bit more expensive than some of the other pro staffs just because it's got Rogers' signature, as well as a lot of people did like this frame and this style when it was out. I'm not missing out on ketchup. It's disgusting. Solar, do I work out? I do sometimes. I need to get back into the gym. I will most likely go tomorrow. Would be would be my guess. I got home from work today knowing I needed to string this and knowing I was going to go live today. So, I did I did not stand out. Let's see. Kinza, what will I have for dinner today? I don't know. I don't really ever plan that out. It just kind of happens with whatever happens. Cotton, when do you take it off when you are in bed, or is it still on during sleep? Are you talking about my glasses, Cotton? Solar, do you drink whiskey or wine? I do not. I have never had alcohol. So that is something like with food, just never interested me. So I have not I have never drank anything. Well, never drank an alcoholic beverage. Blackout 4873. Yo, man, I remember this live from last Sunday. Hope you had an amazing week and see you next Sunday, I guess. Well, Blackout, I hope you had an amazing week too. And hey, I'll see you next Sunday. Have I ever been to the US Open? No, I have not been to the US Open. It would be cool to go just because I live in the States and it's on the same side of the States as me, but I have not ever been. So you are not addicted to any drugs? No, I'm not. Yasha, hello. Right? Yeah. See, I'm a food and drink. I don't know if I would say that. Like I've had food before, but I've had food before. I just had no interest in like drinking or doing anything like that. What are you asking? Why not? Like, what is that in reference to? Cotton, yes, about your glasses. It's to help you sleep better, right? Yeah. So with my glasses, the way that I was told to do it, and it's been working for me, is that when I wear the glasses, is uh is the fact that if I know I'm going to be looking at my phone, or if I'm going to be looking at my computer, if I'm going to be looking at any type of electronic device that would have blue light coming off of it, then I put these on, especially wearing it before going to bed. That's usually the pretty key thing. And that way it just helps to reduce the blue light getting into my eyes, so that way I can fall asleep better. But when I take them off, is I usually do it after I've plugged in my phone to charge, and I know I'm not going to be looking at any more lights. I'll usually have either the lights off, or I'll go to turn the light off right before I go to bed. And then after I know I've put my phone down for the last time for the night, then I will take the glasses off, go turn the light off, and then get right into bed. And it has worked out very well and very swimmingly for me since then. Let's see. He's a clean guy. Stay that way. Okay. Solar, is this Kinza your girlfriend? Solar, I will be honest, I've never interacted with Kinza before today. This is kind of its own new thing. Why have I never been to the US? Why have I never been to the US Open? I just haven't gone. Like, I also really don't want to go to New I don't necessarily want to go to New York by myself. And the thing about the US Open is that tickets also do sometimes tend to be expensive from what I've seen, as well as you don't get to actually be as close to the players as some other tournaments. So it's not necessarily something that is dying to be on dying to be for me to be at, but at some point I will probably make the trek to the US Open just to say I've been to a Grand Slam or something, because I've never been to a Grand Slam before. But we'll do it at some point. But if I am going to go to New York, I'm going to make a whole like trip out of it, because I would want to go see the US Open, and then I would want to go to Broadway, because I'm a very big Broadway and musical theater fan. So I would want to go see a Broadway show while I'm there too. And granted, I would probably do that alone, but if I could find friends to go with, I would most likely try and do that. I really need those glasses, to be honest, but the color, dude. Sometimes I know you got that thing to where if you see orange, you just get like extremely sick. But maybe these will help. I'm not sure, dude. Maybe. Hold on. Where did everything go? For ordinary viewers, Kavi one that you just commented $1. That is good too. Emmanuel, since the Open would be a great tournament to watch live, since it's a 1K event, all the top players are usually in. Plus, the Americans tend to play well, like Fritz, Shelton, and Brooksby. Yeah, since the Open is fun to go to, that's the one tournament that I've gotten to go to. Luckily, just because I was given tickets, so I was like, yeah, I'll go to that. But it's a fun tournament. It's very intimate, even though that they just renovated the entire like grounds of the Cincy Open tournament, since they changed it from the Western Southern name. But yeah, it's a fun time being a Masters 1000. You get to see a lot of the big names, uh, and you get a little bit more interaction with the players just because you're so close to them, especially going to the practice courts. And Yasha, how many places have I traveled so far? Uh, I've gone outside of the U.S. I've only gone to the Bahamas because I went on a trip that I mentioned earlier, but I was in high school. And besides that, I've been to like other states like Arizona, Texas. I've been to New York. I've been to Washington D.C. I've technically drove through quite a few other states like Virginia, West Virginia. I think, yeah, I've done something and I've gone to a place in Virginia before. It was either Virginia or West Virginia, but Florida I've gone to Georgia. I like have drove through Alabama. I've gone to Tennessee. So like East Coast, that's usually where I have been traveling. Very rare very rarely do I go to the other side of the US. Oh dang, what's wrong with New York? I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with New York. I just don't go there because it's very expensive to do a lot of stuff in New York, as well as it's very crowded on the roads. And if I would be getting to New York, I would most likely be driving, and I don't want to have to drive in New York traffic from what I've seen. So that's why. But I had a fun time when I went to New York. Now, granted, I was in eighth grade, but it was still fun. And you've never heard of the Cincy Open? It's a fun tournament. Let's see. Let's see. Kinza, why did you opt for tennis specifically? Where did that interest develop? I the opting in for tennis came from sort of necessity, just because after I got finished playing baseball, my I just kind of wanted to stay in my room and play video games all day, as most children did around my age. Well, I won't say most, but most of my friends wanted to. And so my mom was like, "No, you're not going to do that. You're going to go outside. You're going to do something." I was like, "Fine." So I decided on tennis because I'd played it once before, and I was like, "That seems fun." And then I played it again, and I liked tennis because it was a solo and individual sport. So if I won, it's because I won, and if I lost, it's because I lost. I didn't have other members of a team that maybe weren't necessarily pulling their weight during a specific game, and that dragged the whole team down, and that caused us to lose. So that's why I like tennis, just because a lot of it is on you as the player itself, and then you just have a very easy way to know how to get better, and you can very clearly see where your weaknesses are and how to improve. So yeah, that's where tennis came from for me, at least. Too cool. I know a show you want to go see, and that's Cats. I do not want to go see Cats. I have heard I have like heard some of the songs from Cats, I think. I do not want to go see Cats. I don't think that would be a fun. I don't think that would be a fully fun time for me. Broadway is interesting. Would have never guessed. Yeah, most people would have never guessed, but I very much enjoy Broadway. I did theater in high school, as well as I've done some shows outside of high school since I've graduated college. I actually just finished a recent show where I was in a production of Little Shop of Horrors, and that was really fun, and I'm glad I got to do that. But for right now, I'm not in the middle of a show or anything. Cotton, have I gone to any ATP tournaments before? The only tournament I've gone to is the Cincy Open, because, like I said, that was the one I got free tickets to. Tony, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for the for the gift. I greatly appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. I was wondering when you'd show up because I told you I'd see you on Sunday, and I was here. You just hadn't said anything yet. Let's see, Kinza. Do I have any favorite movies? I would say that right now, right now, I'd say I think my favorite movie is technically The Shawshank Redemption, just because I watched it when I was younger and I just really liked it. So that's always been one and kind of stuck around with me. Besides that, I don't know. I don't usually watch too many movies, but um yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite. I'd say that's probably my favorite one right now. But I also really liked Jersey Boys, the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, just because I really like the Four Seasons music. That one was good. I enjoyed Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. The first one I never saw. The second one, that one I enjoyed. I saw that in theaters. I also like The Wolf of Wall Street. I thought that one was fun, but yeah, that's a long movie to sit through. But yeah, just kind of random stuff. Solar, how much are racket prices? Uh, I don't know off the top of my head. Like when it was either Deep or M. No, someone was asking about the price of this one earlier. It's like I don't know off the top of my head. It just depends on like where you're at in the world because that can change the price as well. Seems like Keynes is going crazy. She's asking questions about your wife. Uh, your favorite act. Solar, I have no idea who in the world that actress is, so couldn't say anything about that. Why do you want a friend to go with you? Sometimes it's better doing things alone because you get to experience something fully at your own pace. I would want a friend to go with me to New York. Safety, because New York is New York. It does tend to be a little bit more on the dangerous side. B, if I go with a friend, then potentially I'm not the one that has to drive in New York traffic. So that would be great. But besides that, those are kind of like the two big things. It's just safety and everything. And if I go with someone else, then we're probably also splitting costs of like the hotel room or anything. So that's why I would want someone to go with me. It's more for like economic and safety reasons than just wanting to go with someone. Right, at least right now. That may change though. Yeah, Solar, I have no idea who those people you're talking about are. Tony, good evening, everyone. Hey, Brody. Good evening, sir. Thank you for popping by. I was waiting for, like I said, I was waiting for you to show up, but you hadn't said anything yet, so I was getting a little worried that you weren't going to be here. Let's see. Hold on, where did everything go? Let's see. Cotton, from my explanations about why you like tennis, you don't play any doubles. Typically no. The group I play with on Tuesdays, we play doubles then, just because there's so many of us and we don't have as many courts to fit everyone to play singles. But that's where we're usually playing. That's where we're usually playing doubles. So, but when I was playing in high school and everything, or if I was playing an actual match, I never cared for doubles just because I liked playing singles and I liked being in control of everything. Whereas I didn't want to have to rely on a partner as much. But that was just me. I enjoy doubles, but it was not the main reason that I liked tennis. Keenza, have I ever seen any famous tennis players playing live? Yes, I have seen. Uh, who were the matches? I actually got to see Roger Federer play live once, but his opponent had to retire after like the end of the first set, so I didn't get to see the full match. But I got to see him play once. He was playing against David Goffin, however you pronounce his last name. And then I've also got to see Sinner versus Francis Tiafoe. I've got to see Tiafo versus Rune or Rune. And I've also got to see Zverev versus Sinner. Those were cool. And who else? There was one more. I think I got to see Osaka play against, I think maybe it was Anna Samova. I'm not sure though. I may be wrong, but I know I've seen Osaka play live once. And funnily enough, I was actually thrown into interviewing Francis Tiafoe for my work. Like, Francis Tiafoe came to my work. They did not say that he was going to be there that day and until like the day of, and I just happened to be at work. And we were all planning on Francis coming to the store like the next week or something. And so we're all just talking, and then they come up to me like, "Hey, you're going to be interviewing Tiafoe." I was like, "Huh? Hold on. What's happening now?" So I had like 20 minutes to prepare for interviewing a professional tennis player that I've never talked to or anything, right in the middle of a random tennis store. And so that was a little bit crazy for me. But yeah, that's my big fun pro player experience that I got this year. And then the year before, I got to talk to Adrian Manarino and Matthew Ebden because they were both coming in to get some of their rackets spec'd out to make sure they were good for the tournament they were going to play. So that those instances were really cool. Tony, cool learning about you. Thanks, man. Tony, I've been to a lot of tournaments, but never since seen that, and that's a good one. Been meaning to go. Yeah, it's a fun one, Tony. And hey, who knows? Maybe one time if I get free tickets again, and Tony, you're at Cincy, maybe we'll run into each other. You never know what could happen. You like the Four Seasons too? Yeah, four Four Seasons are good. I very much enjoy Frankie Valley and all that. Let's see. Keen's I've seen Shawshank Redemption. It's good, but my favorite is Dead Poet Society. I've not seen Dead Poet Society. I know that Robin Williams is in it, just because I've had friends that absolutely love the Dead Poet Society, or at least they talked about it, but I've never actually got to see it. Let's see. Mandigo, I have no idea what you're talking about. Please stop. Please stop spamming the chat. Uh, I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce your name or what that says, but hello from the person that says they are from Israel. Hello. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Hello from the US. Tony, Goodwill Hunting. I love Robin Williams. And yeah, definitely go to New York with someone. Yeah. Oh, you want someone else? So you want someone else to drive? I mean, I'm not gonna complain if they want to drive in New York traffic. That New York traffic kind of sucks, and I don't want to deal with it. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous that you pay for the room and not the bed. I don't. I don't know what that means. Are you just saying it's ridiculous how expensive New York is? Kinza, you like Steve Carell? Have I seen The Office? I've seen some of The Office. Like, I watched, a, I watched quite a few of the seasons before, but then kind of the, I don't know if it was the ending or something, but one of the big reveals in the later half of the show got spoiled for me. And then I was watching it over the summer. That happened. I got told, and then I was like, by the time I was getting ready to finish the last 2 seasons or like start watching the last 2 seasons, I just didn't because I was like, I don't really need to see it. I kind of know what happens now, so yeah, that's about it. Tony, record some of you and your pals playing so we can see. Check out the courts. I don't know if Tony. I don't know if all of them would be cool with me recording that. So I may not be able to do that. There, if you watch a few of the reviews I do, at least the more recent reviews, you will see me playing somewhat with whatever thing I'm reviewing. So that's where you could see me play and check out the courts, because the courts that I'm using in those are predominantly the courts at the tennis club I belong to, which is all indoor. So that would be my guess. Slot Salargo, you messy. Let's see. Aviation. How many push-ups can I do? Uh, I don't know off the top of my head how many I could do like in a row. I do not remember. Means I've never seen any tennis player live, but I want to one day, hopefully. I should watch Dead Poet Society. I think you'll like the movie. Maybe. I don't know. I don't. I've never been. I've never watched too many movies. Like my sister, they were getting on me last night because the fact came up again that I've never watched the movie Grease. That's one of my dad's favorite movies. And he's like, "How have you never watched that?" And my sister was like, "I've tried to get him to watch that 4 times, and it still has never worked out." I'm just like, I don't know. My friend one time, he tried to get me to watch Home Alone, but he decided to try and do it at like 11 o'clock at night one time. So he starts the movie, we're both watching it, and then I just fall asleep and throughout the entire movie, and they don't notice until the movie's done. And so they're just like, "Oh, all right." And then I was just like, "Yeah, still haven't seen it." Tony, so cool you interviewed Tiapa. If you can take some videos of your store or job, it's interesting to see other people's lives. But I understand show your if you don't show your courts. Yeah, maybe one day, Tony. Tony, the internet is dangerous. Yeah, I get it, but it's fun. Emmanuel, thoughts on Manarino's string tension at 24 pounds? Crazy low. Yeah, that's insane. Like, being able to play with that consistently and like play with it on a professional level is crazy to me. Like, props to Manarino for being able to do it. I don't know how he does it, but props to him. I don't think I would prefer it. I've never gone down that low. I think the lowest I've ever gone in tension was like 45, and I kind of couldn't stand it. But who knows? Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not sure. Oi. There we go. Oh no! Don't break, please. I don't want to have to buy something new. That would suck. Let's see. Do do. Yeah, I get it, but it's fun. Thoughts on the Marina? I already answered. What is string tension? And that is how tight the strings are or how tight the strings are put into the actual racket itself. So the string tension can range anywhere from, technically the lowest is 1 pound. The highest I've seen some machines go up to, I think, is like 99, but I would never suggest going up anywhere that high at all, just because you're just gonna break. You're just asking to break the racket at that point. That it's not a good idea. All right, what happened to my chat? Okay, Tony, I strung someone's racket all poly at 40 pounds and it felt fairly tight. Um, yeah, for some people it works going low tension with poly. For me, I didn't enjoy it. I just like I just like the more controlled feel of tighter tension. So that's just me though. Like I don't usually recommend people stringing as tight as I do, just because it's not for everyone. It can cause arm issues if you're not used to it. But yeah, that's why I don't. I'm usually upwards of like 56 pounds or around there, especially on a polyester. Most people don't need to do that. That's just what I have found I prefer. But yeah, it's all personal preference. Keenza, I'm from Indiana. That's where I'm from. That's why I said I usually stay close to the East Coast. 98 square inch head, gotcha. I look like Felix from Stray Kids. I don't know what that is. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know who that is. Yeah. And no, like when you book a hotel room by yourself, you pay for the same as two people booking. I mean, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I've only ever like booked a hotel like twice, so I can't really say too much about it. Tony, I've got to hit with some. Who have you got to hit with? That's awesome, Tony. I've watched them a lot. It's just amazing how good they are. It never ceases to amaze me. Yeah, indoors. Yeah, every single time I was watching them, actually watching the pros play when I was lucky enough to go to the Cincy Open, it was insane how much those guys were just like crushing the ball and how effortless they made it look. And I'm like, man, I have a lot to learn if I'm ever going to play much more competitively. And it's just always amazing. Keen's, oh, that's really bad. The Office got spoiled for you. Am I watching any series these days? No, not really. I don't I don't really watch TV or like movies or anything. If I'm gonna watch anything, it's gonna be on YouTube. And weirdly enough, right now I'm on like a Pokemon kick. Not just because like I've played Pokemon for many years, but I've I have subscribed and follow some Pokemon YouTubers, and that's just what is piquing my interest right now. So that's just kind of where we're at. You've never watched Grease? Oh my gosh. Grease has a good soundtrack. I appreciate it more now than I did 20 years ago. But you like Broadway, you'll love Grease. Your sister and dad are right. Hold on, where did that go? Hold on, where did it go? Yeah. Your sister and dad are right. You should watch more good movies. Hey, I'll get to watching Grease eventually. Like I know pretty much almost all the songs from Grease, or like I know of them, and I could, if you played it, I could probably tell you it's from Grease. I've just never watched the actual movie. But like I know most of the songs. Like I know Beauty School Dropout. I know Look at Me, I'm Sandra D. I know hold on, what are the other ones? Summer Nights. Uh hold on. I'm trying to think of Olivia Newton-John's song. Hopelessly Devoted to You, that's a great song. But yeah, I've just never actually just watched the movies. Well, watched the movie itself. Let's see. Kinza, have I ever done any theater in my life? Yes, I've done theater a lot, both in high school as well as outside of high school currently. Like I mentioned a little earlier, the most recent show I did was Little Shop of Horrors, and I did that we performed in August. Yeah, we performed in August. So just earlier this year, I was doing a show. Uh, Ibrahima, hello. I don't know what pounds are. It's essentially the American. It's it's another measurement for force, I think. So like, uh, M, the closest thing I think that would make sense to use like kilograms. I think is usually the comparison from uh pounds to kilogram. Let me make sure. Yeah, 56 pounds, 23 to 27 kilograms. Yeah, that's usually like the equivalent, and you just do the conversion for pounds. That's just what we use here in the U.S. instead of kilograms. Gonna have to Google our measurements. Wishes remove those corny glass. What does that say? Glass rooms. There's no glass rooms anywhere. I'm wearing glasses, but there's no glass rooms. Tony, the poly isn't meant to be strung at 60 pounds. The most I'll go now is 50. Yeah, no. Poly typically not supposed to be strung at 60 pounds. However, Yonex Sinner would disagree with us because I think he's stringing around like 61 in his head speed MP. And we can see what Indiana is, and we can see what Yannick is doing. So, for him, it works. For most of us mortal players, no. We probably shouldn't be anywhere near 60 pounds with Poly. Not necessarily a good idea. Uh, Wishes, who cares? All of us that are still here and talking. If you don't care, you can leave, bro. I'm not stopping you. Let's see. M, is Indiana the same as Indianapolis? Indianapolis is a city in Indiana. So I guess you could say they're the same, but they're just within one another. Is that what just happened? Did you all see that? What just happened? That was weird. Tony, Indiana, cold winters. I'm in Texas, gonna be 30 degrees tonight. Tony, it was 30 degrees here when I was leaving for work, I think. Well, when I was leaving for work, and I think when I was leaving work to come home. So uh supposedly we're Indiana and just like the area I live around is supposed to get snow tomorrow. I'm kind of excited because I like snow in terms of looking at it and going outside and doing stuff with the snow. However, I don't like driving in snow. That kind of sucks. But we'll see. I'm kind of excited for it. If not. Uh don't cap. Am I a trust fund baby? I look like it with the tennis racket? No. By no means am I a trust fund baby. Kinza Indi Hold up. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hold on. Indi- Indiana Indiana, great. Never been there. Yeah, most people probably haven't been here. Most people probably don't ever. Most people probably never gonna come to Indiana, and I don't blame them. It's Indiana. It's cool for a bit. There's some cool things here, but I anytime I've ever wanted to go out and do something, I've pretty much had to go to a different state to do it. So take with it what you will. Let's see. Trust Fund Baby is crazy. He's definitely not. Nah, I'm not. Giza, have I ever been to Canada? I have not been to Canada. I the only time I've ever left the U.S. it was to go to the Bahamas, like I mentioned earlier. But that is it. That is it. Running Man, am I the tennis dude? I am a tennis dude. I don't know if I'm the one, but I am a tennis dude. Running Man, weren't you here yesterday? Maybe? Or am I thinking of someone else? Anyway. True. Moto, I met John Travolta last year. He was pretty chill. That's cool. Nice. Buying a Snickers and a Diet Coke in Ocala, Florida at a gas station. That's that's crazy. Just ran just randomly runs into him. That's crazy. Kinza, I am my birthday is in October. So I'm the scales. I'm Libra. Let's see, Emmanuel. Since you're a Bee Gees fan, I hope you've watched Saturday Night Fever. I have not watched Saturday Night Fever. I have specifically asked people where I could watch Saturday Night Fever, and I've asked if anyone had the DVD of it, but I have not watched Saturday Night Fever. I have tried to find it, and I could not. So I have not watched it, but that is one I have tried. That is one I have tried to watch. Unlike with Grease, where I never really looked into watching it because I knew we had it. I have tried to watch Saturday Night Fever. I just never did. And my favorite movie is Mean Girls, the OG, but I would find it dumb. I watched it 7 or 8 times. Bro, Mean Girls is not a dumb choice. Like I thought Mean Girls was hilarious and awesome. I've watched that movie more times than I probably should have. Now, the Broadway musical they did, pretty good. The new movie kind of sucks. The songs, because they tried to implement the Broadway musical into the movie, didn't work out the best. Some of the songs, pretty great. Like the one scene in the new one where they're at the Halloween party and they have the song where everyone's just like frozen, super super sick, super cool. The rest of the movie, kind of bad. Not gonna lie. The OG Mean Girls, so much better. Tony, Frankie Valley song is good. Grease is the word or something. Yeah, I think the, um, I think the name of the song is just Grease. And the cool thing about that I found out much later, besides the fact that Frankie Valley sings it, is the fact that Barry Gibb and the Bee Gees wrote that song for the movie. So that's why I was like, that makes it even better. At least for me, because I'm a Bee Gees fan. Tony, yeah, center strings really tight for most people. Kinza, thank you for the compliment. Chill dude. I don't know. You were just kind of going insane, bro, with all these jewels and everything. I appreciate it. Let's see. Nathan. Yeah, Nathan, are those red light therapy glasses? They're not therapy glasses. They're blue light blocking. They're not red light therapy. They're blue light blocking glasses. So that's what these are, and I've had great success with them. And my favorite author, John, is from Indiana. Is I love it. Is it John Green? Is it John Green, M? Let's see. Tamsy. Hey, bro. Hi, how are you doing? Ah, where'd everything go? Tony, Indiana is cool and you're near a lot of cool places, probably driving distance. Yeah, it's it's convenient to get to places. Well, it was until they started doing construction near my house. And I'm just like, that's not convenient because now it takes me even longer to get to work and home, but I can get to most places fairly easy. Um, uh, I mean, it's nice that you can travel to it, so you're not forced to be in the snow. Yeah. Tony, Indiana's cool, and you're near a lot of cool places, probably driving distance. Yeah. Rock Nation, hello. Tony, I'm October 16th. I'm Libra too. Bro, we're close, Tony. Like, if you're October 16th, I'm only 2 days after you. I'm the 18th. As you can see from, if you look back on my channel, I also did a stream on my birthday this year. So yeah, we're that close, Tony. That's pretty sick. Rock Nation, we met. How am I? It's Paul. Paul, how did we Paul, how did we meet? Tony Libra, baby. Okay. Svel? Apes movie? I don't know what that is. Kinza, you're a Capricorn. Nice. Fred, watch Gladiator. I have not seen it, so that's another one people will probably tell me to add to my list. Shout out shout out to you for loving Mean Girls. But yeah, dude, Mean Girls, it's a great the OG is a great movie. The new one I don't care for at all. I like the old one, and then I like small parts of the new one, if that. Not much. But the old Mean Girls, classic. Amazing movie. Let's see. Uh, what is it? My date of birth? I mean, I'm not. I am. Well, Kinza, context clues. Huh? I just said with Tony, born. I was born the 18th, and I'm 24. So I'll have you do a little bit of math, and you can figure that one out. Uh, and I have not seen when Harry met Sally. I don't. I have never. I've actually never heard of that movie. Tony Gladiator is great. All right. John Green's your bay. Tony, the Bee Gees were good for sure. I didn't want to say his name because it's kind of embarrassing. Like you get it or you don't. Now, I know of John Green. Like I haven't read a lot of his material or anything, but I know of John Green. When I was in high school, we would watch Crash Course History for history class, and I think he was the host of it. So that's how I know of John Green majorly. And I love Regina. She's my queen. What kind? Why is Regina? Why is Regina your queen? Wait, if you've watched Mean Girls, have you ever watched the movie Heathers? Because like Heathers was Mean Girls before Mean Girls existed. And since it came out, what was it, in like the 80s or 90s? Wait, hold on. September 1st, 1989. Yeah. Since it came out in like the 80s, 90s, they just got away with so much more because it's Heathers. But yeah, if you like if you like Mean Girls, you might like Heathers because it's almost the same thing, but Mean Girls took inspiration from Heathers. Is what I believe. Kinza, what kind of music do I listen to? Pretty much anything before pretty much anything before like 2010 is majorly where I'll go. There's some artists like I'm a big fan of Bruno Mars. He's really good, and you can actually tell he is actually singing everything he does. He's not using auto tune for everything, but that's where that's where I really like music from a few decades ago, just because everything you hear was actually the people singing. It wasn't machines. Like it wasn't too mixed to where you couldn't tell if the person could actually do that vocally. They actually had to be able to do that to produce everything. So like that's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of Broadway is because you can't fake that. You either can sing everything that you hear or you can't. And if they can do it good and they can do it correctly, it's amazing. But yeah, that's usually where I'm at. And then of course I also like Eminem because I grew up listening to Eminem when I probably shouldn't have because I would fall asleep listening to one of his CDs that my parents had. It was the clean version, don't worry, but I would fall asleep listening to Eminem and I just really like his music too. But I kind of go everywhere and all around. Uh per Perla Mean Girls was okay. Yeah, I could see why it wouldn't be for everyone, but I like the original Mean Girls movie so much better than I liked the new movie that they made. It was funny when I was watching that movie. I was actually watching the movie with my ex at the time. Well, she wasn't we were dating still. We were watching it but she ended up becoming my ex. And so when we were watching it, I was like, okay, we found a list that ranked the Mean Girls songs in from the new movie musical in terms of like best to worst. And when I didn't even have her show me the list, I pretty much got everything on that list correct in terms of with about a 90 to 95% accuracy just based off watching the movie one time because I was like, all right, these songs were specifically good, everything else kind of trash, but I could pretty much place it in order just based off of like how the movie portrayed the song because I had listened to the original and how it was supposed to be. I was like, okay, most of this movie not that great, but there were a few redeeming factors to it. Kinza, what is my religion? That I will keep to myself because that I don't think needs to be top. That I don't think needs to be discussed because I don't need people to try and convince one way or the other. I don't usually talk about that stuff just because it is much more personal for people, and I respect that other people believe what they believe, and I don't need to try and change that or anything. And they don't, and I would appreciate if they don't try and change whatever I am. Uh, OMG, no, I'll add it to my list. Thank you for the recommendation, of course. Carmel, thank you for being here, even though you're still sick. I appreciate it. Yanzito from Brazil. Nice to have you here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, true. Bruno is really good. Nice, really cool. Brazil. There's clean versions. I would wake up to my dad blasting Tupac. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You can find clean versions. They're not I wouldn't say they're completely clean, but there are cleaner versions of most of his songs. But yeah. That's where I would say it. But like no, I grew up listening to Eminem and I was when he released his new album, The Death of Slim Shady, I was ecstatic because I was like, this is so cool. Now, granted, I did not like every song on there as much as I thought I would, but I liked quite a few. Let's see. Marcos, what's up? Welcome back. Dog, hello. Kinza, do I like to read books? I do. I'm personally more into personal development books. I like those. Sometimes I'll read like business books too. I like more nonfiction just because it it can be related and usually it's trying to teach something. So that's where I usually tend to fall with books. But when I was reading a lot more fiction, like when I was in school, I read all the Harry Potters. I read almost all of the Percy Jackson series. I read the Kane Chronicles because I was really into like Egyptian mythology and just ancient Egypt. I thought that was sick. And uh s- some other things. Yeah, some other things, but what was it? I was a big fan of the Aragon series. Those books were huge, but I read that series weird. Like I read it out of order. Like I started with the second one, and then I read the fourth one, which was the last one, and then I read the first, and then I read the third. So I was all out of whack reading that series, but that was how I have found them in my school's library. So that's just kind of like how I had to piece everything together. No, I enjoy books. They're fun. Only Eminem song is my mom's spaghetti. So lose yourself and monster. See the those are probably two of the most known. Now, of course, there is the real Slim Shady. That's obviously a very big and popular one overall. But yeah, I personally very much like at least from his new album, Houdini. I liked Houdini. I liked uh what is it? Brand New Dance. I really like that one. As well as just from his older stuff. Not Afraid, amazing song for me. Um what is it? Rap God was cool. He's that fast. Godzilla's really cool. He went even faster than Rap God. And I like Just Lose It and Without Me Till I Collapse. So yeah, there's a ton of different Eminem stuff that I just absolutely adore. Let's see. Kinza, what was my degree in? It was in business administration. Tony, you saw Eminem in concert. It was a tour with other bands. It was cool back in the bruh. My cousin got to see Eminem live earlier. No, it was last year when when he was just releasing the album. He got to see him live in Texas actually, and because he lives in Texas, and he was telling me he got to see it. I was like, dude, I'm so jealous of you right now. And I was just like, I would love to go to one of his concerts. I think that would be awesome. Just so that way I could see it before he really doesn't tour anymore. I mean, he already doesn't do much, but I think it would be awesome to see. Let's see. And do I have Goodreads? Luigi Mangione had some really good self development books in his list. I had some of them. I do not have Goodreads. I do not know what that is. You also feel like the History Channel would be something for me. Damon, I like his collab. Marcos, have you people forgotten about "Love the Way You Lie" featuring Rihanna? No, we have not forgotten. I just wasn't. I just didn't get into that one as much as some of the other songs of his. It's a good song, and I've heard it. Just wasn't me. If people forgot. Pearl, I have conversations for a 24-year-old. I mean, I think every age has conversations except for like maybe 3-year-olds because 3 years and younger. But yeah. Let's see. Marco, I thought that was Monster Llama. I'm getting everything mixed up. Yeah. Tony way back in the day. I think it was Anger Management Tour or Family Values. Lots of cool bands. I don't remember which one. It was probably something like D12 because that was the other band he was a part of for however long. I don't know. I've only listened to like one song from D12, and it's the song titled "My Band," which I think is hilarious. Kinza, do I like Coldplay? Lots of people like Coldplay, I assume. Um, I couldn't. I don't know, just because I would have to hear a Coldplay song in order to understand, in order to remember they, in order to remember what their music is, because I don't, I don't listen to them that often, so I would just have to like know what song it is and then kind of go from there. Yes, my teacher had missed class back in high school because she went to Coldplay. That's crazy. The teacher decided to take an off day to go see Coldplay. That's insane. Tony, what's there to do in your town? Go to the big city. I go to Dallas if I need big city. Tony, where I'm from, there is not much to do because I don't necessarily live in a very big town. Uh, what would I say? One of the big things that we did to pass time and just to have fun was actually just randomly driving around in the car with like your friends. You turn on some random music that just was like background noise, and then you just drive and we all just talk and do whatever. That was a pretty common staple, and funnily enough, my car was the one we always pile into, just because it always was, even though it was a two-door, which I don't know why they chose my car, but we did. Probably because I was the one that was sober and was able to drive. But yeah, we drive around. Usually bonfires. Those are pretty popular, especially during like summer, because we can actually just have those and not have to worry about it being too cold. But if we actually want to go and do something, then it's pretty much like, yeah, we have to go somewhere else to do anything like really big or anything. Uh, yeah, Coldplay is pretty awesome. But I love the glasses. Where did you get them? I got these off Amazon. They were like, for me here in the U.S. they were like 40 to 50 USD, and I would say that is pretty much like one of the best 40 to 50 bucks I've ever spent. Just felt I looked like a trust fund kid if the trust fund only had $41 in it. I mean, I'm not a trust fund kid, but all right, I guess. Marcos, if it's okay to ask, what's your age? I'm 24, Marcos. I'm really holding my inner Regina Georgian every time you say I haven't. Finish the quote then. Finish the quote then, M. I don't know what you're I don't know what you're saying, but I don't know where it's coming from. I don't remember the quote from Regina, but yeah. Deep, the Midwestern experience, love it. Yeah, that's the Midwestern experience. Drive around, bonfires, you don't really got much else. Indiana's pretty flat, so it's just like you're in the middle of cornfields or nothing else, so at least until you get to like Indianapolis or anything, then you at least have a city. But where I'm at, that ain't happening. Tony, I get it. Same in my little town. Yeah. Sounds very Indiana. John books always take place in Indiana. Yeah, the activities you're mentioning are always mentioned in the book in his books. Yeah. It's not it's not anything like extremely crazy. We're just kind of here. And then we got to go to some other place to do any like big thing or anything really. Some of the nature is pretty cool though. Like some of the scenery can be really nice if you really look for it though. It's Keen said I'm tapping on the hearts on the screen. Nice. Let's see. Deep. I got lots of cousins in Michigan, so I lived at Tula. I know there's a big rivalry, Buckeyes versus Wolverines. Buckeyes is Ohio, bro. Indiana's Hoosiers. Deep. How do I like the Pacers? I mean, I don't really have an opinion. I don't. I never really got much in. I never got much into like professional basketball, so I can't really say too much there. It's not my sport or anything. Uh, Hold on. What is it? Yeah, I cannot. Hello, Fiv. Hello. I saw you. You waved. I cannot. Please, can you help me with some funds? I'm really in a tight corner. Mom's is sick. I cannot, sir. I hope everything gets better for you, though. Marcos, I'm going to sleep. See you soon. Have a good sleep, Marcos. See you at another time. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. No, I mean I would normally react like Regina if she heard that someone has ne- heard that someone has never done something before. Regina today, shut up. But I don't want to be mean, so I stay quiet. Like for a 24-year-old, you haven't done a lot, but I feel like that's maybe the Indiana influence. I don't know. I don't know if that's the Indiana influence. I think it because a lot of my friends have done a lot more stuff than I have. I think that's just me not wanting to like. That's just me making a conscious choice not to want to drink or like eat as many foods or anything. But not sure. Not sure. I don't think that has anything to do with Indiana because like I know a lot of friends that have. I know a lot of friends. I know a lot of people that have done a lot more in terms of other stuff than I did. Keen said if someone says anything mean or disrespectful, you should directly block them. Well, depends. Starboy. Kaylee, of course I remember you. You were here. It was either, I think you were here last night or the night before. I remember you. I remember you being here. So I agree. You think you make conscious choices. I mean, everyone makes conscious choices. What are you? what are you getting at? I mean, I purposefully chose not to drink alcohol. Yes, I purposely chose not to eat a lot of foods. That is correct. I have chosen not to watch movies or as many movies. Yes, that was my choice. What are you trying to get at? Bubbles, if a nuclear bomb. Oh, okay. I get it. Darn it. I get it. I get it now, M. I see what you did there. So Regina would just go. So you agree? You think you made conscious choices? And I was like, yeah, I gotcha. Bubbles, if a nuclear bomb went off, how many states would be affected by it? It would probably be that answer would probably change depending upon where it was dropped. That would be my guess. Shayura, what's up? You did make it. I was wondering where you were. You said you would be here and you hadn't commented yet. So, I was curious if you were actually going to show up, dude. Kayla, I don't know much about tennis. That's okay, Kayla. You can just hang out, have fun, and if you learn something while you're here, you learn something while you're here. It's a grand old time. Kinza, you want to have a tennis match with me? Kinza, have you ever actually have you played tennis before or like played much tennis? Kayla, I am also kind of wondering the answer to M's question. What kind of dog is that in your profile picture? Kinza, do I come live? Do I go live daily? I have been the last few days. I have never done that before, but my thing is, I may be starting to do live more and more. So I'm thinking about making it a daily thing, and it'll probably be around the same times. But I know like on Tuesday nights, I probably wouldn't be able to do it, so I may have to do it earlier, just because I'm playing tennis on Tuesday nights, and I do not wish to give that up. But I've been thinking about at least for the rest of the year going live at least once a day for at least 30 minutes, just so that way it keeps consistent. So I've thought about doing that just as a way to like really make sure I work on my consistency. But yeah, that's been my thought. Shayura, I just wake up and open YouTube just for you. I appreciate that, bro. I was I was wondering if you'd be here. I was waiting, but I wasn't sure. Keynes, not much tennis, once or twice maybe. Keynes, I don't think you would enjoy playing a match with me. Cuz it it probably wouldn't be fun. Kaylee the dog is a pit bull and Rottweiler. His name is Simba. Oh, that's cool. Simba looks cool, Kaylee. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of dogs. Big big fan. Pitbull times Rottweiler. That's an interesting combination. and OMG, I just remember you were born in October, and on October 3rd, Aaron Samuels asked me what day it was, and I said it's October 3rd. He's like, thanks. And then the next day, he asked me for a pencil. Can I borrow a pencil? And I said, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, you're on. Yeah. Why would it not be fun? It's well, Keynes, it's like if you've only played like once or twice, and then you tried to play a match with me, then it might not be as fun, just because I'm sorry to say it, but I'm going to play to win. And I'm going to do my best to win. And if you've only played once or twice, it's going to be harder. It would be harder for you to play with me like that. So that's why I think it may not be fun. It may be fun to hit around just like that, but if we play an actual match, I'm going to do my best to win. And it's a mixed breed. Simba love that. Tony loves dogs too. Dogs are great. Dogs, in my opinion, dogs superior to cats. I'm just gonna say it. He's so cute. Yeah. Shaira, you have a German Shepherd? That's cool. Uh, that's so specific. Jean, uh, I'm awesome. Keynes, do I have any pets? We have 2 dogs. So we have 2 dogs. One is a boxer, and one I think is either a golden doodle or a labradoodle. But yeah, Vinter, thank you so much. I don't know what currency that is. IDR. I'm not sure what that is. But what's my take on low tennis string tensions? With polyester strings, I think it does better, just because polyester strings are already going to give the give the control to the player already, so they can afford to go a little bit lower. It tends to work out nicely, and just makes the strings easier on the arm. Now, you do have to be careful if you're trying to say like a use a string that's not a polyester at lower tensions, because that is going to cause a little bit too much power, typically, if you're saying using a multi-filament or anything, because that is going to just like increase the power of that string entirely. So if you're wanting to really maximize low tensions, that's typically where polyesters come in, like I was saying. But it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish out of the racket, because if you have a racket that's designed to help give you more power, and then you go at a very low tension with a very powerful string, the thing's going to be a rocket launcher, and you're probably not going to be able to control the ball at all. So you just have to be very, very like you have to be very careful if you go low tensions, and you also have to take into account what racket you're using, and what what the string you're actually using is. Vinter. I don't know what your actual name is. I'm sorry. Shang, that is very specific, saying I have a nice skull shape. You try it. I don't know why is that what you're focusing on. Yeah, my sister has a pom pom. His name is Matcha. That's fun. Jamie, oh yeah, that's cool. But can you do an Irish accent? I don't know. I've not tried, and I don't think my first try is going to be here on this live. Keenza, I'll do my best to win too. Don't worry. All right, Keenza. We'll see. We'll see. Kayla, I also have another dog named Lupin, and she's a husky. Huskies are so cool. Like I don't husky, very fun. Let's see. Okay, Indonesian money. Oh, okay. Very not very cool. Love a husky. Kinza, I have a golden retriever. He's my love. Golden retrievers are so cool. Like I have met many a golden retrievers in my day. They have all been very wonderful. One of them was a little bit like he'd get a little close, up close and personal with people, but all the others, great, great dogs, golden retrievers, highly liked by me. It's Rupaya. Thank you, Tony. Indonesian. Thank you. Kaylee. And I have a cat named Miska. That is not how you spell it, but I don't know how to spell Miska. Okay. And I forgot what breed he is. Cool. Jang, don't be bashful about your skill. It is quite good. Nice. Bubbles, what's up? I'm back. My phone died. What's mine at? Yeah, mine's getting close. So at some point, the stream will be ending at some point because either A, my phone is going to die, or B, I'm going to stop before my phone dies. Okay, hold on. When did all of a sudden the entire chat just become bread? Perla, you're gonna make it rich one day. I like it. Hopefully, we'll both do it together, Perla. Let's do it. Tokimitsu, yep, just loves bread. Let's see. Kinza, my golden retriever is awesome. You'll love him. He will love you. I'm I'm sure you will like him. Maybe. Best racket, Tony. Best racket ever. Ivan Lendl Adidas or Kineso or Mizuno. GTX Pro T and best shoes Nike Air Oscillates Sampras wore. Let's say me. Um, I don't know about best racket ever because I don't think I have one that stands above all the rest, Tony. But for shoes, I got a shoe that I like so much more than all the others that they don't make anymore, and I'm not happy about it because this was my favorite shoe. It lasted me for 2 entire seasons of high school tennis, and it was amazing. However, they don't make it anymore, and I'm mad and sad because I want it back. But it was the original Asics Court FF because it was I actually still have it, the one I wore in high school because the cushioning was great. It was a mesh upper, so it was more breathable, and I never had to worry about breaking it because I really don't break shoes. And the tongue was built into the shoe and it was a little more flexible, so that way it was able to just kind of form around my foot a little bit better, and it worked out so well for me, and they I'm so sad that they got rid of them for the what the Cord FFs are now, to where they're plastic and everything, and I just don't care for them as much. But that's what I would say, Tony. That is my favorite. That is my favorite tennis court shoe, the original Asics Court FF. Keen's and nobody's tapping on the hearts but me. Kaylee, okay. OMG, tennis shoes. Do you need specific? Yes. You do need specific tennis court shoes to play this in order to help best protect your ankles. Because if you're wearing like your normal everyday walking or running shoes, you have a very easy chance of rolling your ankle because they don't have the same structure and support that tennis court shoes have. So it is highly, highly recommended that you get actual specific court shoes if you play tennis or any sport like it. Captain Bro wears sunglasses indoors. They're not sunglasses, bro. They are, yep, like M said, they're not sunglasses. They are blue light blocking glasses. So that way, when I'm done here with this live, I can go to bed so much easier and actually get so much better sleep. That is why. That is why. Let's see. Kaylee, I'm sorry. Did I reread? Ask you if you play Minecraft. Uh, I do not play Minecraft right now. I have played Minecraft for I have played Minecraft over the years, but um, yeah, Minecraft is fun. I have not played it much recently just because I don't have anything that has Minecraft on it. But yeah, I've enjoyed Minecraft. Oh, it's Stephen King lore, okay. Show you, I wanted your live setup tour. What do you mean? What do you mean you want my live setup tour? You're looking at my live setup. It is me. My computer's here so I can see the chat, and that's about it. I'm I'm going live on this on my phone, and that's about it, bro. Not much else. Hold on. What even happened to Stephen King? No clue. Kaylee, you said hello again. Ball's nothing still alive. He just doesn't write more books. He's working on Welcome to Derek with the people who are producing it. Nice. Let's see. Kinza, do I like coffee or tea? I've never had either of them, so I cannot say if I like them or not. Uh, Rabbit, is this a nail salon channel? It is not. I have never been in a nail salon. This is a tennis channel. So if you were looking for nail salon content, unfortunately, you will not find it here. Okay. Tony, dude, plug in your phone. I'm half asleep. I'm about to crash. Y'all have a great night. See you next Sunday, bro. D. Tony, thank you for being here. I'll see you next Sunday as well. Have a great night, sir. And yeah, my phone is at 9%. So we will see how much longer we're able to keep going with this. OMG, I just Googled tennis shoes. They look like barbecue dad shoes. Uh, look up the. Trying to think of one that wouldn't look like a barbecue dad shoe. Look up the Asics. Yeah, just look up the shoe I was talking about, the Asics Court FF3. Just look that up, and that should get rid of the dad barbecue vibe that you see with some of them. And there are some cute Nike tennis shoes, but they're not your regular tennis shoes. No, they're not. They're not supposed to be. Kayla, I have the marketplace pass on Minecraft. I don't know what that is. I see your vision. I see your vision, Toki. Bread. You can see the bread. 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 So much bread. Kaylee, I think M wants to play Minecraft with you. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. You guys actually ended up playing and meeting from this. Let's see. Dang. OMG, you've never had Starbucks? I live at Starbucks. No, I have never had coffee or tea. I've never had Starbucks, never had anything like that. I've luckily never needed coffee, so I do not plan on ever starting it just because I don't need that addiction or that waste of money compared to not having to do it right now. Toking bread. Keen's tapping on the hearts. I looked them up. Not too bad, but the pink ones are too bright. I mean, yeah, there's some of these court shoes I don't understand the colors. They go insane a little bit, and they're not all for everyone. M from the way Kaylee's making it sound. If you just type in the name she has on YouTube as the name in Minecraft, it sounds like you might be able to find her. So you might be able to play Minecraft with her here soon, Em, if you actually look her up right now before the live stream ends, and you may not see her profile pop up again. Bubbles, welcome to Dairy's Crazy. Everyone gets packed except for 2 characters. The first episode because Maturin didn't help the other. He was the. I have no clue. I don't know Stephen King lore, Bubbles, so I'm just kind of just kind of gonna go off what you're saying, or at least assume what you're saying is more correct than what I would think. I don't think I'm missing out on pumpkin spice. I really don't. I I have never had it. I don't think I'll need to have it. Money is there to be spent, yes, but I will spend it on other things like tennis gears, or I'll spend it on gas for my car so I can go to work and everything. I feel like that is a better use for my money. Bread, Toki. How about bread? I actually don't buy bread unless it's like from a restaurant, so yeah. It was my favorite beverage. Just water. Very big fan of water. That's it. Took a screenshot. Okay. You might want to just add her now, because if she forgets about this and then she just sees a random friend request from someone she doesn't know the name of, she probably won't accept it. That'd be my guess. Now, if my name is in Minecraft is R O, okay. If you go to friends, you can find me. I told you about mentoring Stephen King lore creation after stream. Look up. We'll see, Bubbles. I might. Let's see. I made my own skin. I'm Karui from Naruto. Nice. I will not, Kaylee. I will not. Fair. Well, if you two end up playing Minecraft together next time I'm live and you're both here, let me know how it goes. I will be very curious to hear about that. Keen said that's awesome. Water's the best. Yeah, water's pretty great. Kaylee, are you mad? What are you mad about? What do you do? Let's see. Keenza, do I play any instruments? I know how to play the saxophone because that's what I played in the instrument I played in middle school and high school. I actually still have my saxophone here, but I haven't played it in quite a while. But yeah, I still remember how to play it and everything. All right, what's my phone at? 6. All right. What time is it? Nearly 11. Okay. Sorry if the dogs are barking. You all can hear that. I don't know what they're barking at. It's probably a deer. The deer tend to surround where I live. I agree. Money is for things you like. I'm not a big spender, but I am a girl. So, and I like Regina's to go figure. I mean, hey, if you like it, you like it. I've just never had it, so I don't like it. Kayla, I play the piano and the drums. That's cool. I have a keyboard, but I have not actually learned how to play it yet. I have wanted to, I just haven't started. But I do have a keyboard to start learning how to, because keyboard's fun. Keyboard and pianos always seemed interesting and fun to me. Kinza, I've never played any instruments, but saxophone sounds cool. Dang. Yeah, saxophone was fun. And luckily, if you can play one saxophone, you can play all the saxophones, so even better. Yeah. Lung capacity, that, yeah. Michael. Michael, do you play Minecraft? If so, what's your name in Minecraft? I think she's talking to you. I was gonna say, I think, yeah. Kinza, after this live ends, I'm going to bed because I have to work in the morning. And my phone is at 5. Yeah, it's at 5% right now. So, uh, we will probably be ending here very, very shortly because I would like my alarms to go off so that way I can make it to work on time. I do not need to be late. But yeah, it is night. It is nighttime over here. It is about to hit 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast. So yeah. What time? All right. I plan on staying around for at least like another minute or two. Shepston, have a good night then, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll stay on for about another minute or two, but after that, I will have to go because I will have been doing this for for 3 hours. And like I said earlier, when Tony was still here, my phone is about to die. It's at 4% right now. So, yes, I will be leaving for the night so that way I can go to bed and just finish prepping for tomorrow. But we'll still be here for about another minute or two until I see that it crosses the 3 hour mark. Just to say that, yeah, we went 3 hours. Because yesterday I think we did like 2 hours and 50 minutes. So might as well hit 3 tonight, just to see. M just I think she just needs your think she just needs your name, needs your Minecraft name, and that's all. And then she can find you. All right. Cool. Okay. Kinza, it was nice talking to you too. Have a great night. Thank you. It was nice talking with you. Hopefully Hopefully you'll be able to make it back to another one. Kaylee, yeah, bye, Kaylee. Have a Hey, you two added each other. There you go. Mission accomplished. Crazy that happened over over my live stream, but it works out. Kaylee, I appreciate the subscription. If you do subscribe, it helps me out. It helps me out a ton. And now look, you found a Minecraft buddy. Even better. You'll try to go to sleep, even though it's like 4 or 5 in the morning wherever you are. Nice live. Thank you, M. Appreciate it. Hopefully you can get some sleep, and maybe look into something like these glasses, M. Even though these ones are orange, maybe there's ones that don't have orange lenses that'll not make you absolutely sick to your stomach. All right. But with that, that's where I'm going to call it. So, with that being said, thank you to everyone that was here. Thank you to everyone that commented. And yeah, this has been great. This has been fun. We'll definitely do it again. I'm thinking potentially and possibly we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, with that being said, as always, take care.